to Medicare Talk. I'm Megan.
And I'm David.
And we are Florida Medicare Broker on the Nature Coast. Today, we're going to be talking about why some brokers push supplements over Medicare Advantage. The main thing I've noticed that the reason that they don't tell you is because of the commissions are larger. Like, how much is a general commission on a supplement, Dave?
So depending on, the carrier that you're selling, the state that you're in, even the region of the state of Florida, for example, it could be anywhere from the range of 30 to 35 bucks a month. Maybe if the client is even older, it can even go up to 40 bucks a month. There's a pretty wide spectrum, but I would say typically right around 30, maybe the 35 bucks a month range. As opposed to Medicare Advantage, agents and brokers are getting usually right in the range of $25 per member per month.
Right, and with supplements, you have to get a prescription drug plan with it.
Yes, yeah. If the client wants prescription drug coverage, then you're looking at a second commission
Mm-hmm.
For that prescription drug plan on top of the Medicare Supplement Commission. So there's more of a financial incentive for agents and brokers to sell supplements. And that's not to say that they're a bad product. They're a great product. We love Medicare supplements here. But I know, as you've mentioned in the past, that agents and brokers on like a lot of these YouTube channels, they portray that there's more money in Medicare Advantage as opposed to Medicare supplements.
Yeah, that really annoys me when they do that. Because they're lying. Like, they're straight out lying.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of putting their clients' needs above their own. And that's what brokers should do. They should put their clients' needs above their commissions.
Yes, yeah. And like you said, they're just straight up lying when they say that, and it's just not right. They're putting the commissions before the customer.
Mm-hmm. Especially when their YouTube channels, their titles of their videos is like Medicare Advantage can kill you. And we've all known over these past several years, especially in politics, that it's fear mongering.
Yeah.
And that's I mean, to me it annoys me because you're giving the other brokers a bad name.
Yes.
If we suggest Medicare Advantage to the client. But since supplements are pretty much a one product, it's easier to build your agency that way.
Yes, yeah, it's easier to sell because you don't have to remember all the changes with all the different companies with like Medicare Advantage. This network is changing over here, copays are changing over there. There's a lot more for a broker and agent to learn and to keep up to date on with Medicare Advantage, as opposed to supplements where there's not much changes because you don't have the networks. The policy itself doesn't change anything because it's all standardized by Congress, so they don't ever change the plans. The only thing that changes with Medicare supplements is the monthly premium. Typically goes up with inflation, maybe a little more every single year. So it's a much easier product to manage from the brokers and agents' perspective. I don't like saying it, but it's kind of the lazy man's business model if you only sell a Medicare supplement.
Not only if you build an agency on supplements, you're also getting a percentage off the brokers under you of their commissions.
Well, that's true with Medicare Advantage as well and any insurance product. But yes, yeah.
That's true. But it's for some it's just easier to sell it because it's like, what did you call it one time? A one-trick pony?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, they're one-trick ponies. That's the people that only sell one product. And to be fair, that's true with Medicare Advantage as well. The Joe Namath commercials out there, that those guys, they only sell Medicare Advantage, and it's easier for them because they don't have to worry about the Medicare supplement rate changes and whatnot. I think it's just a lazy man's business model to only sell one product and not to properly service your customers and looking out for all of their needs. It's a little bit biased in my opinion.
Explains why it's easy to sell and service. But there are a few out there that that legitimately believe that it's a better product, and in some case it is, because it depends on the needs of the client again, because we all don't fit in a box.
Yes, yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of people that legitimately a Medicare supplement would be a better product for them. Statewide average for Florida, about 40% of the people go with Medicare supplements. About 60% end up going with Medicare Advantage. Our book of business, our personal book of business, the blend is right in that range. It falls within the averages of the state. Some years it's a little bit higher, some years a little bit lower, but on average it's been year over year about 60-40, give or take. And that's probably the way it should be, you know? Because this state, Medicare Advantage is very strong in the state. It's not like it is in a lot of those western states where it's not very strong, like Kansas, Wyoming, and whatnot. They simply don't have the population for Medicare Advantage to work. Because for Medicare Advantage to truly work, you need a larger population, like in the state of Florida, for example.
Yeah, you need high density. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, because insurance works on a concept called the law of averages, or I'm sorry, law of large numbers, rather. And you need a large amount of people for the actuarial math to actually work. And in Florida, we have what's a population? 22 million, I think.
Growing every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it mathematically works for Medicare Advantage. That's why it's so strong in this state. But that doesn't mean it's right for everybody.
Right.
A lot of people, they have six, seven, eight, nine. Recently came across a customer, 14 different doctors.
Oh, yeah, and she had a huge drug list too.
Oh man.
Pages.
2 pages long. I think it was like 19 different
Yeah.
drugs.
Yeah.
A Medicare supplement would have worked great for her. She had so many doctors. Worrying about networks wouldn't have made sense for her because of how many doctors she had. And most of them overwhelmingly were specialists. So could you imagine being in an HMO and needing to get a specialist getting a referral
Oh, yeah.
for a specialist 2 or 3 times a week? That would be insane.
That would be. And it's supplements are just better for people who are snowbirds for one, because we get a fair amount of snowbirds in this state.
Sure, yeah.
So they're a snowbird from their own state, like my parents. A supplement works better for them because they get the benefits from where they live in Connecticut,
Sure.
but they can also use it here if something happens.
Yeah.
Like when my dad broke his knee or needed new knees or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of things going on with him. So, but he's able to use it down here as well.
Yes, and so supplements ain't right for everybody, but neither is Medicare Advantage. And the important thing is that you're working with a broker that's not going to be biased on a certain product because of things like commissions or because it's easier to sell. I mean, let's face it, supplements are easier to explain to a customer, which makes it easier to sell. Especially back when Plan F was still around.
Mm-hmm.
All you had to do was say, you know, it's this much a month. I think back in the day it was, $160, $170 a month on average in Florida. You never have anything out of pocket. Sign here. You didn't have to actually do any work looking up doctors, looking up prescriptions, and explaining how referrals work, how the network works. Medicare Advantage, let's face it, it's a little bit more difficult to sell from an agent's perspective because you have to explain a lot more. You have to walk the customer through the summary of benefits. it's a much more regulated plan. But in many cases, Medicare Advantage is right for people because you don't have that monthly premium. You have little out of pocket. Uh, the drug plans built inside the plans are often better, but it's not always right for everybody, Medicare Advantage. So it's important to work with a broker that is not going to be biased because of their business model or the commissions or whatnot, and they can and willing to work on both sides of the aisle, Medicare Supplements and Medicare Advantage, especially in a state like Florida, because in certain parts of the state, especially down around the Treasure Coast, those supplements are 250, $300 a month.
Wow.
It's not cheap.
Right.
And if you're already experiencing any kind of financial hardship, especially these days with all the inflation or whatnot going on, not having a biased agent, trying to push a supplement because of the higher commission, it's a good thing to have somebody that's looking out for you.
Yeah, I noticed even going through the villages, the main company there is UHC.
Yes.
And UHC is huge on supplements.
Yeah.
So that tells you right there that what the agents there that are in the villages, that work in the villages, are pushing.
Yeah.
Because there's tents set up. There's tents at the farmer's market every weekend. There's tents throughout the town.
But don't forget, UHC also has that UHC the Villages HMO, though, too.
That's true, they do.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people in the villages have those AARP med subs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they like the benefits with it. Like gym memberships.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of my clients, when they had Plan F specifically, they don't want to leave it ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not available. And they've been told by nurses and like doctor's offices, the billing departments,
Yeah.
that they have a really good insurance.
Oh, yeah, and again, Medicare supplements are fine insurance plans. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. We sell a lot of them. About 40% of our book of business is with Medicare supplements.
But that's our book of business is purely on what the client needs and what their budget looks like. So that's all I have. Again, we are Florida Medicare Broker. The link to our website is below in the description box. Please like, subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions. And that's all for us from today. Have a great day.